Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to ask a provoking, clickbaity sort of question, which is, does it matter where your guitar is made? We all know that the gold standard of guitar manufacture in years gone by has been USA. In recent times, Japan. Anything else has kind of been seen as inferior to those two. Made in England, sure, but there just hasn't really been many made in England guitars, you know, apart from smaller, kind of more exclusive custom shop luthiers, that type of thing. Underneath that, you're looking at Mexico, you're looking at Indonesia, you're looking at Korea. The reason I wanted to ask this question is because of this particular guitar. This is a fresh in from Tokyo ESP E2 Horizon. This is the 7-string model in 27-inch baritone scale. So there's a bit of a story why this guitar is currently in my hands. Recently, I had a little bit of a clear out of my collection. As I'm sure you can sympathize, sometimes you just find yourself with so many guitars that you're just like, how the hell did this happen? I lost control once again. So we've said goodbye to the Spine Buster, known as the Solar E1.7, officially known on this channel as the Spine Buster. Check out the review if you haven't seen it. It's just mostly me moaning about how much my back hurts. We've also said goodbye to the Solar V1.6 Black Distressed. If you want to know my opinion on that guitar, just check out the review of the Solar V1.6D, just distressed on its own, on the channel. Exact same thing. Pretty cool guitar. I got rid of those two because I wanted to buy a new 7-string guitar that's purely for performances. I just thought I would like to have a guitar that is like a stage guitar. You know, we've said before, I've said before anyway on this channel, that I kind of feel like there's maybe 3 types of guitars. There's recording guitars, there's stage guitars, there's writing guitars, or at least guitars that you vibe with, and for some reason when you pick them up, riffs just flow out of you and songs just appear out of the ether. Those are very, very rare to come by indeed. So I wanted something just for the stage that looked the part, but was also going to stand up to punishment of, you know, being battered, hopefully when we start being able to gig again. And so I decided to spend more money than I have in the past on a factory produced instrument, and I got this bad boy. A little bit of a spoiler for how this video is going to end. This guitar is going back. I've decided not to keep it. That's due to some defects with the guitar that I just feel like when you're paying $2,000, which is what this instrument retails for in the UK, they shouldn't be there. And the experiences, I guess, left me questioning how much weight there is to where your guitar is made being a sign of quality. So most guitars between the sort of £400 to £1,200 price point these days will be made in Indonesia. Indonesia can make amazing guitars. If you check out the review of the Court KX300 on this channel, that guitar is £399. It's insanely well built. So this guitar is made in the ESP factory in Tokyo. There's a really interesting video on YouTube, which is like a tour of that guitar factory, which was kind of what persuaded me to buy this guitar, if I'm being honest. Because I saw that video and I was like, whoa, that is some serious craftsmanship going on there. So specs wise, this guitar is a 27-inch baritone scale length with an older body and a neck through construction. We have Goto locking machine heads. We have brushed chrome EMG 81, 85 pickups, obviously the 7-string version. A single 3-way toggle, which I don't like. I much prefer a blade switch. Anyway, you have a master volume, a master tone. That's it. You could get away with not having the master tone. I don't know why it's on there. This is a 27-inch 7-string riff monster. Do we really need a tone pot, especially with the EMG pickups? No, I don't think so. Anyway. There is some nice attention to detail stuff with this guitar. There is, I would describe it as like a stone grey pearloid binding running all the way up the neck, around the headstock, through the entire length of the fingerboard. Stainless steel frets, a bone nut, which you don't see very often on an electric guitar. You tend to see bone nuts probably more on acoustics. So again, that's quite a nice finishing touch. I am a massive fan of the 27-inch scale length for 6 and 7 string guitars. There is something about just that extra string length that gives you a quicker, faster response on the strings that I feel just brings out a real clarity in the kind of low mids that is so important when you're playing those big fucking down-tuned drop A or whatever it may be chords. So look, let's just play some tones quickly on this bad boy just to show you what I mean about that enhanced clarity. See, the tone pot was rolled off there. We don't need a tone pot, do we, metal players? See what I mean about there is just like... It's just so damn clear. So what I mean about just like there's so much like mid-range clarity. Those big ass fucking suspended chords, just every single note. So, I mean, it sounds fucking beastly. It sounds just like thick, and the EMG81, you know, how compressed it is, works extremely well with this drop A tuning, especially with the 27-inch scale length. Clean tones, I mean, it's an EMG85. Look, I'm biased. Like, the EMG85 is my least favorite neck pickup, probably of all time. But listen, it doesn't sound all that bad on this guitar. Certainly not. I'm not going to moan as much as I normally do. You know, it's not that bad. I think the scale length really works in the favour of this guitar, you know? You know, like for an EMG85, it's actually not that bad. It's actually quite nice. You know, I've long said on this channel that pickups will sound different in different guitars. They won't always sound the same. And so maybe that's me proving myself wrong about the EMG85, but right about that. So I guess I'm coming out kind of even. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, this guitar is unfortunately having to go back to EK Music in Tokyo. The second I took this guitar out of its packaging and its case, something felt wrong. And unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of you know that feeling when you have bought a guitar unseen and you pull it out of the box and your first reaction is, that's not right. And then the more you look at the guitar, the more you see wrong with it, the more you're like, it's like the realization that unfortunately you've bought a lemon. This guitar is a snitch over £2,000 in the UK. It doesn't even come close to being built as well as it should be. So we'll start with the pickup cavities, which are the wonkiest I have ever seen on any guitar. The back routing is just totally wonky. It's not straight at all on any of the cavities. I mean, the worst one is the neck pickup. I mean, how hard can it be to just cut a straight line into a guitar? I don't know. Clearly it's, yeah, not happened on this guitar for whatever reason. And then we look at the pickup feet. The holes where the pickup feet are way bigger than they need to be, which I've never seen on any guitar I've bought. They are usually just cut to size. They're all completely different sizes and shapes. And the cutoff between the white and black paint is wonky as hell as well. There is chip paint between the neck and the fretboard. I would be remiss to see that on a £1,000 guitar, never mind a £2,000 guitar. The other thing that is really been irritating me is the frets are rounded in a way that the low B string comes off the fretboard just way too easily. That's me, I promise, that's me not trying very hard at all to get that to come off the fretboard. It's a good thing that the frets are rounded because then they're not sharp and they're very comfortable to play. But it's very, very easy to go too far and round them too much to the point where the strings just come off. That is fucking irritating. There's certain riffs and certain songs of mine that I just don't want to play on this guitar because that happens all the fucking time. Look, yes, I'm being nitpicky, but listen guys, if you're paying anything over like £1,000 for a guitar, you should be nitpicky too, because that's a lot of fucking money. It did occur to me that this guitar could be a fake, because expensive guitars, anything over £2,000, there are fakes floating around. So I've done everything I can due diligence wise. I emailed ESP USA, I emailed ESP Japan, I emailed the dealer, and I said I want you to verify that this guitar is actually genuine. Everything I have had feedback wise from them points to this guitar being genuine. Here is the communication I had with the dealer in Tokyo when I questioned, like, is this guitar a B stock? And they've come back, having spoken to ESP, and ESP have said that those pickup cavities are within default quality. So it's come straight from the horse's mouth that if you're paying £2,000, that's good enough. And I'm sorry guys, but I completely disagree. Every single guitar behind me has dead fucking straight pickup cavities, and they are at the very minimum consistent with the shaping and the sizing around the pickup feet. It's just not good enough. So that's why it's going back. So coming back to the original question that we opened this video with, does it matter where your guitar is built these days? I think it's mattering less and less and less as time goes on. I am playing phenomenal, cheap Indonesian made guitars. And when I say cheap, I mean like, you know, 300-400 quid. And then at the other end of that scale, I am playing Japanese made, you know, like creme de la creme in terms of mass manufacturing instruments that are nowhere near close to the standard they should be. Despite COVID temporarily getting in the way, the world is getting smaller and we are living in a globalized society. You know, what does it mean, for example, if the person who made your USA made guitar is Spanish, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Jamaican? What then? Oh, is it not as good as a guitar made in the USA by somebody who's from America? Or, you know, I just think it means less and less. My final thought on the topic is, over say £300-400 price point, it's all to play for really. You know, between that 300 to 2,000 price point, it could really be made anywhere in terms of like Indonesia, Korea, Japan. It's no determinant of quality which one of those countries that guitar is going to be coming from. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. They always generate some interesting dialogue and debate. My hunt for a stage 7 string continues, and I will be sure to do a video on the next guitar I get in, how it fares quality wise, and hopefully I won't get stung with a lemon again. Thanks very much for watching again. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy the other videos I've got on the channel. Think about chucking me a subscribe. It helps me and it encourages me to make more videos like this. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.